Bullets. Hello, I'm TheZOMBIEJ. I said I would be doing this at the end. Well, I said at the end of the last video, I'll be doing a video on the Bionicle stars, the things that go sparkly in the sky at night. Not really. Back in 2010, when these were released, there were 6 of them. And, well, at the end of the day, they were basically a gory. Let's be honest. They were kind of rehashes in a way. You know, back in 2008, we got the 2008 Matoran design, the Av Matoran, the Shadow Matoran. Yeah, that's pretty fucking awesome. These were cool. They kind of took us back to 2001 with the Mata arms and Mata legs, and oh my god, it was fucking fun. In 2009, we got the Agori. And there was Pharaoh too, but hey. They had some pretty good parts. Obviously, recolors of some parts we already had from the Shadow Matoran, Av Matoran. But hey, it was cool. I never got Metis, and I never got Ranu. Oh well. Plan on getting them at some point. Hopefully, for less than $10. Or at the very least $10, and probably not broken. Because the joints. But now, in 2010, early 2010, we got those Bionicle stars. They were rehashing things. They were using parts that were in the inventory. They had to make brand new molds. They had to make brand new recolors. And had a few tricks up their sleeves with this one, kind of. One of them I'm looking straight dead on. And it's, yeah, we'll talk about that one after the other 5. So, the first one, and first of all, the story reason for the Bionicle stars feels a bit like they were rushing things, you know. They were rushing G1 towards its end because sales were dropping, and they, you know, stopped production to protect the IP from really actually, you know, falling apart. No pun intended. But we still got story stuff. Okay. That's fun. And this was our last wave of sets until 2015 and 2016. And then there was the yeah. So we'll start off. Yeah, and by the way, the story reason was kind of dumb, honestly. But hey, it is what it is, and what is what it is. So here we got Tahu, and I must clarify first, I originally had copies of these. In fact, I had 2 copies of Takanuva at one point. That's why I have a rebuild of Takanuva, a revamp, sort of. And obviously, my original copies of these sets fell apart, broke, died. So I did find all 6 of these at a thrift store in a plastic bag with Rotor from Hero Factory missing the front end of his cannon thing, which I was able to replace, and also a missing tube, as well as the Axelara T9 version of Liwa Fantoka from 2008. I converted that version of Liwa to the Fantoka version because I was able to source parts from Bricklink, and boom. So there you go. But I found these, and they all had their parts. Yeah, they were not broken at all, which is a good thing. Now, the thing is, Tahu here, who has all the golden armor, of course, because they didn't have the bag did not contain the original armor that was on his arms, torso, and the Nuva armor that was kind of a bright silver. That was pretty cool, and the mask. He was missing a foot though, so I had to basically, you know, replace it. I replaced it with a foot that I already had from my original Tahu. Man, it's dusty. Blech, blech, blech. And you know what? I still have my original golden armor from my original copy. But this, having this like this, is cool. I was kind of like, wait a minute, why does he have all the golden armor? And then it hit me, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, that's right. He is part of the story. And so I decided to leave him like this, because, you know, I needed the other armor bits that I already had for projects. In fact, I used 2 of them for Epitaph, Toa of the Dead. Check out my review. But Tahu here, it's nice to get the Matoran body in red. That's awesome. We've had these pieces in orange before. We've had these pieces in orange before. We got this. We got the fists before. Obviously, we got the Akar fire sword. But this one actually transitions from like a red flame to, you know, it just beautifully transitions from this red to orange, and it just kind of oh, it's lovely. It's awesome. That's a flame you don't want to fuck with. The feet are brand new from 2010 at least. They were known as the Star's feet. I mean, just look at these. These are fucking cool. They have a plus rod hole right there. Should get stick it on the side of a arm, for example, or use it as chest armor. That's cool. He obviously was using the Agori head, or the Matoran 2008 head, of course. He does have, well, what we used to call, the golden cockroach armor, either that or tiki armor sort of thing. Looked like it was part of a tiki torch or something. I don't know. I mean, definitely looks tribal almost, which was, you know, there was a lot of that in Bionicle. And while the legs and the arms and the fists and obviously the ankles and there's not a lot new here, but there is a lot to be loved here. The mask is the centerpiece of this. It's the original How, but compressed a little and stretched slightly, and also given a plus rod hole, or a plus rod, so you can stick it on a head, which has a plus hole. So it is kind of a no-brainer. They probably didn't have the original mold anymore, so of course they were going to do something to alter the mask slightly, and they did. And here it is, and it's great. The Nuva armor in this pearl gold is nice. The 3, you know, tiki armor is nice as well in this gold, very pleasing. And the Galak Kal shield in pearl gold as well. I still have my original copy of that. This is only number 2. I might use the original copy for a mock. I don't know, but this is nice in this color. It's pretty cool, actually. But Golden Tahu, as he is known as, well, not all that surprising, not all that shocking, not all that is cracked up to be. He's still pretty competent set. Obviously the legs and the arms don't bend and whatnot, because they're the fucking Matoran 2008 build. So it's just, you know, the final send-off for an iconic hero. He's the poster boy, for fuck's sake, of Bionicle, you know? So, of course they're gonna do Tahu again, so. And, I mean, for the most part, this is alright. I mean, you know, I don't love this set, but I don't necessarily hate it either. I do love this flame piece. Ooh, yeah. I like the gold pieces. All is well with Tahu so far. Now, Gresh was still a fairly recent character. This one's probably the worst, to some degree. I think it's the worst. Probably. Oh, fuck. Well, I gotta fix that now, or at least replace it. Yeah. Fuck. I'll show that here in a minute. He's just all this metro green, this dark green. His torso, his arms, his fists, his legs, his ankles. All that is dark green. Everything else that is tacked on, the star's feet, and the mask, obviously, helmet, whatever, and this cool reptilian sort of scaly armor, which looks cool. I mean, he's using that for both that and that. Basically, down here, it looks like he's got 2 dicks, I guess you could say. He does have a translate green Iron Man head, Giltorian head, and unfortunately, it's the axle is broken. Thankfully, I have a spare mask from my original Gresh stars, so I can replace this one easily. Yay. The weapons are nothing special. They're nice to have in silver. They're the only silver bit on this character, and it's just nice to have these in silver again. But, you know, that's basically all there is to it. These weapons are cool to have in silver, and like with the original Gresh, you can you can turn this into a shield if you so choose and have it, you know. So that's all fun and dandy, or that's all fine and dandy, whatever. I'm definitely gonna have to replace the helmet. And the helmet is a recolor, obviously. It is, well, lime green, of course. And, I mean, there's nothing new here other than, you know, that recolor, this new part, this recolor, and this new part, everything we've seen before. Except the Tauren torso in this green color is nice to have. But, you know. So, Gresh, I mean, he's not the absolute worst. Yeah, this is terrible. He's not the absolute worst, but he's probably the worst of the good guy side, the 3 good guys. So, because, you know, yeah, he's alright. He's alright. Now, Takanuva here is actually a little bit better. It's nothing really special, but I like Takanuva stars. I mean, yeah, he does use the Avmatoran head. He does use the Mask of Light in, well, silver this time around. Because, you know, at first he was Takua, a Matoran. Then he became a Toa, Nuva, Takanuva. Then he became a big fucking Titan guy, Toa of Twilight. Then he became this. What is this lineage problem? What the fuck? He does have the Tiki piece in white, which is nice. He does have identical arms and legs. They're the same piece, so not much variation there. Which I guess I can kind of get what they were going for there with, you know, because the original Takanuva set had the Nuva legs as his armor, or as his arms as well, so kind of like what Gali Nuva did, which, okay. The feet are the same, what are they, the Star's feet. He does have white Nuva armor, which I'm pretty sure these came in a Lego sports set of some sort, like NHL hockey or something like that. But other than that, it's pretty much the same. The staff pieces, luckily, are not broken. These are the Mari blades. Why does he have 2 stabs of light? What the fuck? Did his lance weapon got split off into 2 weapons, and what happened to the third one? Is it just up his ass or something? I don't know. He does have 2 of these stopper pieces, which were used for the pistons for Titan sets. I mean, overall, Takanuva, he's probably in between Gresh and Tahu. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Tahu stars, but he's probably the most exciting of the 3 good guy ones. But Takanuva here, there's something about Takanuva stars that I kind of like. Maybe it's just the nostalgia from, you know, the Evoki, you know. And, you know, to compare him to my revamp, yeah, yeah. The revamp I did, I actually think it's better. Of course I did. Of course I did. Of course I think it's better because I built it. But yeah, this is Takanuva Stars, and it's just nice to have that Mask of Light. Cool. Alright. Next we have Paraka from also with Takanuva, you know, the torso piece, nothing new. It's dark gray. We've had that before. Same thing with the fists and the ankles. Now, the fists and the feet are nothing new on Mr. Paraka, otherwise known as Nektan. Yeah, this is Nektan, Paraka Warlord dude. The fists, the feet, nothing new there. The arms, nothing new there either. We had those with Gavla, I think. Torso, I mean, it's reversed because, you know, it's more unique, I guess. So that's cool, I guess. I mean, you have this Technic piece right there, which is fine. You got an Iron Man head in, what was it? Trans orange, trans red, trans orange, whatever. He's got Antros' weapon here, and that kind of continues to this little dagger piece, which is a weapon, so he can, I guess, decapitate you. I don't know. The legs. Those are the only new recolor on this set in general, and that's it. It's nice to have that though, but you know, yeah. The only new actual mold on this set is the head design. The head with the spines, and he doesn't have a fucking tail extending off of this. Ugh, what the hell? So. Yeah, but he does have the spines, which, you know, connect to his arms, the backs of his arms, and connects to his back via Technic piece. And yeah, it's rubbery. It feels, you know, kind of. Yeah, unfortunately, if you, I think there's been some cases where, you know, if you're not careful, eventually, you know, the axle on the top of the head will pop off, which, you know, will separate from the rest of the head, and you know, that's kind of suckish, you know. So that's, yeah, that sucks. But Paraka here, sorry, Nektan is perfectly fine. I must say that my revamp is actually much better because he looks more like an actual menacing cretin. This, meh. I mean, that's all I have to say is meh. So that is, I mean, maybe he's the best, as far as I can tell, as far as I can, well, justify, Paraka Nektan is probably the best of the bad guys. Skrull here is, he's kind of middle ground, you know? The fists, nothing new. The blade pieces, nothing new, although they're in the color choice of this thing, he's mostly black, but with the light gray, obviously, Technic piece to connect this limb to the body, which is reversed like this, and there's a ball joint still there. Ball socket exposed too, so, you know, if you really wanted to, you could do this. Yeah, that's goofy. I apologize. So yeah, connect that back right there. But other than that, you know, the Iron Man head is the same as the Paraka one. The head is the exact same as Pharaoh and Skrull, and the arms, nothing new. The legs, nothing new. The ankles, again, nothing new. The feet, it's the only new mold on this set. In black, though, which is nice. And this piece, this Technic piece, in lime green. They changed up the color scheme. They changed it from black and red to black and lime green, which, isn't that Tuma's color scheme? What the fuck? The only actually cool thing about this, I mean, because in general this is so mawkish. You could totally build this out of parts in your collection, except for the feet, but you have to source those. But yeah, it's nothing special at all. This just feels kind of lazy and stupid. But the sword, again, I actually have an extra one of these thanks to my old copy, but the Kopaka sword in black. It's nice to have that. That is so cool, so you can make a shadow Kopaka with that. Oh, it's extremely loose for some reason. Oh well. Aging parts. So yeah, other than the Kopaka sword, which is pretty cool, there's nothing special about this at all. It sucks. Well, it doesn't entirely suck if you want to make an army of these and just have them be like this, and yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. So up until now, we've seen, obviously new molds, new recolors, new parts, and stuff we've seen before, stuff we haven't seen before. I will say the Star's foot design was reused, obviously in black, with Jewel Dozer for Hero Factory. But before that, they were reused in a darker silver color, much darker than this silver, not like gunmetal or anything, but it was a darker shade of silver. It was one of the villain sets from Hero Factory in 2010. I can't remember his name. Fuck, why can't I remember his name? I don't remember. But he had the Matanui shield piece as part of like upper arm texture or whatever. And that's really upsetting me that I can't remember the name. If you know the name of it, oh god, it's actually below. It's nice to have those the feet pieces in that shade of silver, but we got the black ones twice in a row, it seems. But other than that, there's only 5 colors of this foot piece exactly. No other colors of it exist, unless you do a resin cast or something like that, which, okay, or bootleg parts. That's always fun. But now, we must get to the absolute worst of the villain side of the stars, and of the stars in general. In fact, it feels like a fucking disgrace. This is Rakshi. This isn't a Rakshi. A Rakshi, the 6 Rakshi, I made a video previously, but the 6 Rakshi that we got were awesome. They were kick-ass. This does not kick ass. This looks like a fucking unposable disgrace. I mean, yeah, you could pose them, but it's restricting. I mean, yeah, it's got the staff, the fucking Gurak staff. What the fuck is this? The Gurak staff was used for Gurak. That's why it's called the Gurak staff. This is lazy. I mean, are you fucking kidding me? This is fucking lazy. I had to replace one of these because one of them broke at the axle, I think. And the axle, speaking of axles, the black shaft right here, the axle thing, is a 12 length. The Rakshi originally used 10 lengths. This is 12. Okay, so the body is, again, the more, I guess, chunkier of the Athmatoran limbs, but it's facing forward with the shoulders forward. You have 2 of these Technic pieces, one right there. Open socket. Is that where his nuts are supposed to be? He's got these arms we've seen before. He's got these legs we've seen before. These actually, I think we've seen before. I don't remember. But the feet, nice to have in Keat Orange. The fists, we've seen those with Matanui and Tellurus. Nothing new there. This limb piece in dark gray, nice to have that too, I guess. The socket piece that's used as the light piping, okay, that is definitely Rakshi resemblant, but it's not the original piece, but that's as close as we're going to get, because that was, I mean, it's the breakable joint, so, what am I kidding, the original piece broke too after so long. The biggest insult about this thing taking the name of Rakshi, it's the Rakshi of Heat Vision, but there was a better, there has to be a better version of, actually there is. There's a reference photo that I think I saw on Brickshelf of Roxy of Heat Vision in one of the comics. I feel like, because that basically looks like what it could have if we got an actual physical set that wasn't this. The spine connected to the head. It's one piece. You have to basically compress its cheeks in order to pose the head. You can't look down all that much. Okay, that's about as low as it can go. I mean, you could get some expression out of it. But this is all one solid piece. Well, it's not even solid, it's just rubbery and whatnot. These spikes, they look like knives. It looks like someone kind of shanked him from upside, like Wolverine sliced him or whatever, and his claws got stuck outside like that. I don't know. Heat orange, obviously, but that fades to a silver color. Looks like a pleasing silver, too. But this is one lump of rubberized plastic. And thing is, if you... come on. Fuck. If you take this off, it reveals a ball joint that's not being used until you, well, put it away with this. This is bullshit! This mold is a piece of crap. This Roxy head, that's not a real Roxy head. It's too flexible. It's too spongy, I guess you could say. I think it would be better if everyone just shat on this, threw it in an industrial shredder, and source the parts to build an actual Roxy of Heat Vision. Get rid of the Gurok staff. Keep this spine design, I guess. Maybe make a resin cast of the original Roxy feet in Heat Orange, and the head, and the back casing, and make custom spines and custom, Heat Vision-esque tools, and sell that for like $10. That would have been awesome. That would have been much better than this. This is a fucking disgrace to the very name of the sons of Makuta, the Roxy. What is this thing? It's just a hunk of plastic that has way less articulation than the original did. I mean, yeah, articulation, shoulders, wrists, fine. Hips, fine. Ankles, fine. No knee articulation. Has the head articulation, sure, but it's limited because, yeah. And there's no gear function. Now, I get they couldn't put the gear function because it's the fucking Stars version. Thing is, they shouldn't have given us a Stars version. They should have sold a actual Roxy build of the Heat Vision Roxy years ago. They should have done that instead as like an exclusive to online or something like that. That would have been cooler than this piece of dog shit. This rubber head thing is a waste. It's insulting. Now, obviously, folks like BioRock Dude have, cut this right there at this, basically at the top right there above this crest piece, and threw that portion out and kept the head for their self-mocks. BioRock Dude with his mock, Detox, I think was his name, that was his self-mock, had this, and that was kind of cool, sure, but it's still a fucking waste. This is a waste of like $10 or however much it cost back in 2010. This is an insult to the very name of the Roxy. This is not a Roxy. This is a piece of crap. I cannot get over how they treated the Roxy in the Stars line. It's bullshit. It blows. It sucks. Cock. And that being the Bionicle Stars. Some good, some bad. One of them is absolutely fucking disgraceful piece of shit. You hear me, you cunt? Fuck you, Roxy. Stars. Oh, Christ. I need some tea. Overall, I feel like we've deserved better from a final wave of Bionicle. Now, there were Nicktoons ads for the Bionicle stars, and there were different builds that were used for those ads, apparently. And they looked kind of cool, actually. I mean, there was, I think, Takanuva and Tahu and Paraka were the sets being advertised. And they had different builds from this. This is lazy, is what this is. What the hell? Ugh. So, my favorite is probably Takanuva. Mostly because I feel like Lego gave me this set so I obviously had my dad paid for it back in 2010, but again, I feel like Lego gave us the Takanuva set so we can make revamps like this. This is excellent. He has one staff, yes, but that's all he needs. He's a fucking 12 light, he doesn't need 2 fucking staffs. I feel like I could have done better with, filling in the gaps of the head beyond the mask and whatnot, but hey. There's definitely limitations to what I could do with my Takanuva revamp. But this, back in 2010, okay, it was acceptable for the most part. It was nice to get the Evoke again. Nostalgia all the way. Gresh, there's just... I mean, the feet are fine. All the way. The feet are a great piece to use and have for mocking. The reptilian scaly piece is nice to have as well for mocking. The recolored blades, swords, awesome. And that's the only awesome piece on this set. The recolored Gresh helmet, yeah, it's not that great. In this solid lime color, I felt like the original Gresh helmet was better. Tahu here, Mr. Poster Boy of Bionicle G1, and you know what, to G2 as well, and even nowadays. This is okay, for the most part. He does have those problems, but for some reason, I don't know, there's some kind of charm to a golden Tahu like this, with more gold than the original Tahu would have had. Otherwise, the original Tahu Mata would just have the golden mask, and that was it. This version, albeit way less parts than the original Tahu, I don't know. There's some kind of charm to this. I definitely enjoy seeing this on a shelf. I enjoy seeing all of these on a shelf. Even though I'm very pissed off and angry about one of them. The Paraka neck tan, it's nice to have a 7th, okay, technically an 8th Paraka. It's nice to have that. It's cool. But my version is way better, I feel. The scroll, it's nice to have the sword. So we can make a Shadow Makuta. A Shadow Kopaka. In fact, Brick Thumb did a Shadow Toa video where he was able to build a Shadow Toa. Albeit there was some parts that were not in black, but he did the same thing with the Toa Nuva. Shadow Toa Nuva. Okay, that's a cool concept. Didn't actually happen in the story, but hey, it's different. So, and as like I said, the Heat Vision Rock Sheet, it's trash. I fucking hate it. It's a disgrace. It's a waste. Overall, this wave kind of blows. It's almost like there's a half good and half bad thing going on here. Half of the sets are good, and half of them are not that good. The use of parts, we have a lot of parts here that we could use in our own mocks. Trust me, I've done it. I've used the Gresh swords for a mock. In fact, I can't remember which exact one, but I've used them. I've used them. I've used the feet. I've used, obviously I revamped this one, so that's cool. I've revamped Tahu stars as well. He's over back there if you see him. Yeah. He's standing next to the white zombie thing. Anyway, the Gresh, again, it's kind of lame. Tahoe's looks flashy and gaudy with all the gold, but it's kind of cool. The Rakshi is piss poor, lazy, annoying, stupid, fucked. And this whole wave has kind of been sort of that whole cash grab sort of thing, and, you know, they were cutting corners, obviously. Cutting costs, cutting corners. You know, they had concepts for Tahoe, Takanuva, and Paraka, sorry, Nectan. And those were used in the Nicktoons commercials. But again, I honestly feel like they could have done better than what they did with these. I truly feel that way. Because these are not that great. They're not. They're not. And they're not... They might be worse than the Mystica. And I liked the Mystica! The Mystica and the Fantoka sets were great. The Toa definitely had their problems, but I can overlook them because they're still the Toa that I grew up with. The Makuta, they definitely had their problems as well. There was definitely an abundance of silver in 2008. But hey, I guess that makes it cool. The stars were definitely the worst wave of G1. And it sucks. It sucks hard. Very hard. It's disappointing. It's sad. It blows. What are your thoughts on the Bionicle stars? Yeah, I know this was a fairly long fucking video, but I had a lot to say about these, and I feel like my opinions are justified because I have all 6 of the sets right here, and, you know, I mean, I'm going to keep them built for as long as I can until they fall apart again, because, well, these, I actually got them at a thrift store, and I was happy to find them. I was happy to see Bionicles at a thrift store. And you know what? I don't know how much the bag of sets actually cost, but it was pretty cheap. So, there we go. Will I be combining these into the combiner model Gardas? Or whatever that is. No, because while that combination model is kind of cool looking, I originally combined... I think I combined my original stars into that combiner model. I didn't like it all that much. It does look cool somewhat, but at the same time, it looks like a jumbled heap of mess from sets that you wouldn't expect to be associated with one another. So, like, you know, the Rakshi, or, you know, Takanuva and Gresh, and, yeah. You wouldn't think the Rakshi and Nectan would be associated with the Skrull at all. Same thing with the other two. Well, okay, Tahoe and Takanuva, yes. But Gresh, no. This was definitely the most wave with the most problems. This is definitely the wave with the most problems. And it feels disrespectful. You know, as a Bionicle fan, in 2010, getting these sets, at the time, I felt like, you know, at the time I felt, yeah, they're okay. They're not great, but they're still, you know, doable. Looking back on it now, I was very foolish. I really was. These, for the most part, well, that's all that is parts. I look at these on my desk right now and all I see is parts. Parts I could use to build mocks. But I'm going to keep them built anyway, because, I don't know, fuck you, that's why. These are what they are. And what they are, for the most part, shit. What are your thoughts in the comment section below? Tell me what you think of the Bionicle stars. Things that glow in the sky at the night. Not really. Which one is your favorite? If you like any of these at all, if you like all of them equally, something is wrong with you. Yeah. Honestly, I feel like Tahu is the best one. Now looking at it, it's like, he does have all the golden armor. He does look gaudy, but he does look cool at the same time. He looks cool on a shelf. It was the last version of Tahu we got until G2. But, yeah, that's basically it. So, stay tuned for more videos. I am TheZOMBIEJ. I'll see you folks later. Have a good fucking day, and peace.